Okay, so I probably won't have much to say about this chapter because it's purely just like a setup chapter for like what's really going on. It's still everything's still pretty much in complete mystery, so it's kind of just like establishing like where exactly we are, which isn't even quite clear yet. But anyway, so I probably won't have much to say. There were some elements in the chapter that were particularly confusing to me, I would say. So like interestingly enough, this whole Lego space is not like it's they're on Elbath, but it seems like the whole like city and vicinity and the castle, of course, is made of Legos, which was interesting because I thought that like, oh, this is obviously like a play set for one of the giants, maybe like Loki, but it seems like the whole town surrounding this castle that they're in is made of Legos as well, and there's giants walking around it that are like human sized compared to the buildings. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. Maybe someone there, like maybe a Loki or whatever, has like a Lego type devil fruit ability and turns into something. And I don't know. I really don't know what it means yet. We don't really have enough information to tell. They're talking about all these different like gods and everything, and they say they have to report all this. Well, I have the chapter. There's like a huge fire. Beasts are emerging. Bees and shit. They're coming out everywhere. And they're saying they have to report these issues to the sun god. And I'm like, does that mean they know Luffy's there and they're like, oh, they're going to report it to Luffy? Or does this mean that there's someone else masquerading or pretending to be the sun god? You know, like there on Elbaf, like taking on this role. And there's also all these other gods that are mentioned. There's like a rabbit god or something like that. So that's an interesting question that it poses. I didn't realize that like the people that got separated, the crew members that got separated and ended up here, are the original like OG East Blue crew. Because for some reason in my head I thought Usopp was back. You know, I can actually check this. I thought Usopp was back on the ship in the last chapter on the giant ship, but I guess that's completely wrong. I'm pulling up 1126 now. No, it wasn't. Oh, I was misremembering. Yeah, it was Brooke that was like, "What's going on? Where is everyone?" I for some reason in my head it was Usopp. I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, you know they're running away from these giant animals. They finally all like unite and like see where they are, and it's like, yeah, it's just a very weird like setup chapter. And I think it will, you know, this will obviously make a lot more sense next week or the week after too. Well, there's a break week next week, sadly, but it's nice that we got this like extra chapter and right like this short like sweet chapter and right before the break week, you know, because that way it's like, okay, we got like we're not waiting 2 weeks for this, you know, which is purely just set up. I could see this being funny, pretty funny like sequence in the anime. um yeah, so like, okay, so they're talking about Yggdrasil, which is, there was like, what's the whole thing with the Adam tree? Sorry, I'm like processing my thoughts. Okay, so the Adam tree is the one in, no, okay, so the what was the other? There's the tree in Fishman Island, um, and this is like the sister tree to it, and this is where like it gets the Eve is the tree in Fishman Island, so that makes a lot of sense. So Adam tree. So I assume Yggdrasil is like, you know, obviously it's the mythological like Norse mythology tree, and I love how they're jumping from like Wano to like a completely different kind of like vibe and mythology, which is pretty cool. But like I assume Yggdrasil is the Adam tree. That, you know, all these like famous ships are built out of. There's a lot of theorization that like the Adam tree is where devil fruits like are grown, the original devil fruits are grown, but I don't think we have any like real evidence of that or anything just yet. But yeah, so that's like kind of where I'm at with the chapter. Very confusing. I feel like it's one of those chapters that we'll understand a lot better in after subsequent chapters. You know, I think right now it's kind of just like a chaotic mess, and I think that's the intention. I think we're not really supposed to understand what the hell's going on, just like the characters don't understand what the hell's going on. But yeah, it's very weird, and I'm interested to see where it goes and what's next, what's in store. Yamato talking with I'll show this. Yamato eating some snacks, talking with Inarashi. I was blanking on his name, about these disappearances. Going, like, I think I've said this before, I think this cover story is either leading to like the return of Big Mom and Kaido, or it's like King and Queen starting up some shit or something like that, if they're still alive. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this chapter. Short, sweet. I think we'll have a lot more insights later. So thanks for watching.